Long time no see. Oh, I love you if you get that reference. And I'm sorry about the glint in the eyes. You're just gonna have to deal with that because your girl is going blind. Okay, everybody. Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing okay. This is the first official wrap-up of 2024. I have so far in 2024 read 22 books in the month of January. Now that I'm going through my list, there are a lot of books on here that I'm planning to sit down and talk to you about them, or that I have already sat down and filmed and talked about them. I just have not got the time to edit it out and, produce a video for you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and share with you the 22 books that I've read in January, and, quick little summary of what I remember and how I feel right now about them. A quick little recap. And you know how a goddamn wrap-up works. So I started off the year with an unexpected read, actual impromptu read. So I started it with From Below by Darcy Coates. This was such an interesting book and such an interesting premise. Sadly, it wasn't as good as it was ought to be, as it could have been actually. But it was still okay. It was still good. So basically, there's this bitch Cove, right? And her team that are divers. That's what got me. I love diving. I love the entire not underworld, ocean world, sea world, stuff like that. So that got me. Where there was a situation, a ship had gotten lost. Like there's no trace of it. Like it was in the Bermuda Triangle, yeah? There was absolute no trace of it, and they have finally found it. And now they're sending a team of divers to, go down, look it up, see what the heck happened inside and stuff. And there's a paranormal aspect to it, and obviously that got me. I like paranormal shit. I thought there was gonna be like Ghost Ship. There's this old movie called Ghost Ship. I loved that movie so much. It's 100% like one of my favorite movies. I loved it so much. To be honest, I will watch anything with Emily Browning on it. I love her so much. So that doesn't really count. You can literally give me a pack of shit that is played by Emily Browning and I'm still gonna be like, oh my god, yes, 10 out of 10, 5 stars. Love it. I don't know why, but I love it so much. What? The premise was good, the setting was good, the characters were okay. I wish we had more character progression. There was more there, and because there wasn't built enough at the end of it where bitches like be getting hurt, bitches be dying and stuff like that, I didn't really feel anything. Also, the book as a whole, it always felt like it's like at the edge of, something, but it never reaches that. That's so, like, it felt trapped, and I always, I don't know, I hate when something like that happens because I can see the potential, I just cannot fucking read it, it's not there. But it was cool nonetheless. Okay, I've done a lot of rereads, and the 3 books that I've read after From Below are all rereads. So I've read All's Well That Ends Well. It's a Shakespeare play. So All's Well That Ends Well basically is following Helen or Helena. I was fucking forgetting. I don't have the physical copy with me. Sorry. So basically she works for this high-ranking bitch, this countess, and then she falls in love with her son. Yes, her son. And then because she's a skilled healing bitch, she helps a king, cures him, gives him a little bit of that Kool-Aid, gives him a little bit of TLC and shit. And because he felt grateful, he gives her the hand of the countess's son. I forgot his name. Bertram, something like that. So he gives her his hand, and she obviously loves him, so completely smitten with him, but he does not feel the same way at all. It was fun. It's one of the funner Shakespeare plays in my opinion. I liked it. It was funny to me. It's not my favorite, but yeah. After that, I read The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. If you have not read The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, what are you doing? This is, again, a reread. I read this book almost every year. I love The Bell Jar. It is one of my all-time favorite books ever. For obvious, I relate, okay? I relate. If you've never read The Bell Jar and you don't know what it's about, basically it's following Esther, who is a very talented, very enthusiastic college bitch, and you know, her day-to-day as her mental health slowly digresses further and further into the abyss, and then her time in the psych wards. Love it. I love it so much, and I honestly think that everyone should read. It should be mandatory reading. I believe, like, it's one of the books that I believe that everyone and their mama should read at least once in their lifetime. Then I've read a bunch of Edgar Allan Poe. I've read The City in the Sea, The Sleeper. Then just a few tales here and there. It's Edgar Allan Poe. We love Edgar Allan Poe in this household. Oh my god, I have read After That I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream by Harlan Ellison. I just sat down and filmed a video talking about this, and it will be here soon, so I'm gonna leave my future me to talk about this book in further detail. I'm not gonna spoil. It's a weird book. It's like one of the weirdest books that I've ever read in my entire life. If not the weirdest book that I've ever read in my entire life. And then I read another collection of poetry of William Blake. This is my first encounter with William Blake. I know it's like a huge voice of poetry or whatever. I've read the Songs of Innocence and Experience. I am not impressed. The Songs of Innocence sucked ass. They were so stupid. I hated them. The Songs of Experience I liked. Some even loved. I was so shocked. I was so like, I kept checking the cover to see if I have the right book because it was so stupid. It was so simple. Nothing wrong with simple. There's a lot of simple literature that I love, but I don't get the hype. I don't understand it. There's no depth to it. It's all the same thing. With the Songs of Innocence, I was like shocked by how unimpressed. I was so unimpressed that it shocked me. For the Songs of Experience though, I did enjoy. Then I've read Almond by Wong Pyong-sung. This was as part of a challenge where I exchanged books with another book talker, Sabrine. Hello. She's amazing. She's very, very sweet. And Almond was so good that it is now one of my favorite books ever. I finished the book, I didn't even recover from it, and I immediately started recommending it to everyone who would listen to me, and now it's your turn. It was so good. I'll link the video for more details. What the heck did I read next? More Shakespeare, Julius Caesar. I like Julius Caesar. Was this my first time reading Julius Caesar? Like actually reading it? I've read it twice this month. I loved it. I've read it twice and listened to it, and I'm going to listen to it again now actually because it was so good, and there's so much to, you know, to dig through. So much. It's an onion, and it has many layers. I liked it so much. I was always avoiding Julius Caesar because I don't know, I don't know if you'll have this, but sometimes my brain just decides to avoid something and it will never do it and without giving me like an actual valid reason. And this is one of them. So I've always avoided Julius Caesar's play for some reason, but yeah, breaking the cycles. Then I've read Arrête avec tes mensonges by Philippe Besson. I've read the French version and I didn't know what I was expecting. Get the file with the electrical version. What is it called? God, words. Oh my god, words are escaping my brain right now. The digital version. I always have like a better time with physical books than digital books. I don't know, it can be the same book and I would still rate it more if it was physical. That's just how my brain works. I can't really focus that well digitally. Auditory is just a mess. I'm trying to get better. But anyways, Arrête avec tes mensonges was one of the... Oh my god, I'm sitting down and talking about it. I have to, especially with Valentine's Day coming. It's just around the corner. I have to sit down and talk about it. So basically it translates literally to stop with your lies. However, there is an English version that I also read after I've read the French version that is translated to Lie With Me. So if you're interested in the book, you can find it in English titled as Lie With Me. If you read the book, you will understand why the change. I love the change. I didn't understand it at first when I looked for the English version, but I loved the change. This was one of the most beautiful books that I've ever read in my entire life. It is sapphic. It's not sapphic, it's gay. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's gay and it's beautiful, it's mysterious, it's sad, it's despondent, but it's enthralling at the same time in ways that shouldn't be enthralling, if that makes any sense. I know it's taboo to say that it's an autobiography, but I vehemently think that it is, especially after researching the author a little bit. But it is basically the story of a character called Philippe, in his time in, oh my god, what do you call it? High school. Middle school and high school, so his time throughout there, and him meeting someone and getting into a special relationship. And oh my god, it was really good. I'm sitting down and talking to you about it in more detail. And I will talk about the comparison between the French version and the English version, since I've read both of them. Another poetry book. Oh my god, I don't know if this one even if it's translated. I think it is, like it's by a very famous author. But this was كزهر اللوز أو بعد. It is by Mahmoud Darwish. Mahmoud Darwish is a Palestinian author. I rated this 4.5. It's a collection of incredible poetry. If you find this in a language you speak, I vehemently, like, you know, advise you to go ahead and read it. The last poem was one of the most beautiful poems that I've ever read in my entire life. It is about his home, it is about Palestine, it is about the blood shed there and is being shed there, you know, continuously. It is about a lot of things. It is about life, it is about humility and humanity, and it's beautiful and it's extremely eye-opening. Then another reread. I've reread Program Mira by R.J. Setzer, sorry. Yeah, I've read this a year ago. I'm gonna link the video for more detail. I liked it. I like Program Mira a lot. It's a retelling of Snow White in a digitalized sci-fi way, and I really liked it. Oh my god, then I read Gemina, the second book in the Alumni file. So recently I've read Alumni. This is the video somewhere here, and I just picked up the second book, Gemina. Again, sitting down and talking about it. I'm a little bit under the weather with a decline in mental health issues, so all of these books I'll just give me some time and I will get to you, you know, the videos in more details about each and every book. Not each and every book that I've mentioned in the wrap-up, but most of them. Oh my god, yes, The Birth of Death by Joseph P. Macaliano. I just uploaded a video about this. It was so cool. This is the video where you can find my entire review and opinion in detail, but this is a stellar fantasy about centaurs and magic and a fucking sentient forest, and yeah, it was as good as those three things led you to believe it is. And I've read 3 poetry books back to back. I've read Sylvia Plath's selected poem. I liked it. Sylvia Plath, bitch. I liked it. It's a 5 out of 5. Not all of them relate to me. Not all of them are like, oh. And I figured out after reading more from Sylvia Plath that the ones that I'm just like, oh my god, this is incredible, are just like, they just require more time. She's extremely fucking smart and I'm really slow, so I just like need to give them time and to explain and to research, and sometimes I don't want to do that. I just want to be reading shit and feeling shit, you know. So yeah, it's like a 4.5. Then I've read Ariel. It's one of my favorite Sylvia Plath's work ever. So yeah, read it. Ariel is a 5 stars. I love it so much, and there are so many layers to it. And I've read a collection of selected poems of Emily Dickinson. I love Emily Dickinson so much. Y'all don't even understand the inspiration that bitch gives me. I love her so much. If you ever find an Emily Dickinson book, just pick it up and read it. You will be doing yourself a favor. Then I have read 2 graphic novels. One I loved, one was iffy. The iffy one, so we'll end the video with a good note. So, The Encyclopedia of Early Earth by Isabel Greenberg. This talks about 2 people from different poles in the earth meeting and then not being able to touch each other. They still fall in love, and then he starts telling her the story of where he comes from, and it's magical realism and slight fantasy. I just was disappointed in the writing. I think this would be cool for a really young person, but other than that, I just didn't enjoy it. I thought there were so many more possibilities that could have been done. The illustrations are extremely well done, and the story is cute and it is wholesome at times. It just is not for me. It's not a bad book at all, it's just not for me. However, this one, Through the Woods by Emily Carroll, was a complete 5 stars. I want to read more graphic novels, so if you do have more suggestions, please let me know in the comments and I'll definitely check them out, especially more creepy, more creaky, more creamy, not creamy, not creepy, not creaky, what's the word? Creepy, more creepy like this one. If you've read Through the Woods and you have more recommendations as Through the Woods, please let me know. This is a collection of horror stories and they are so well done and so simple and so good. This is such a beautiful example of something being done simply, extremely succinctly, straight to the point, simply, but still managing to give you all the points, to give you everything that the COVID is still killing. This is a great example of something being done succinctly, simply, but still managing to give you the point, to give you everything the author wishes to give you. I feel as if I was in the author's brain. The illustrations were so extremely well done. This is a book that I would have loved as a kid and I love now, and I know that I would still love it when I'm 30, when I'm 40, when I'm 50. It's not by all means like, oh my god, this book changes my life, but it's so wholesome in a creepy way. It's just so extremely well done. Plus, it's fun and even manages to be humor. If it's a humorous word, I don't know. Funny, not funny, but just like humorous. Let's just go with the humorous. Fuck it. It manages to be humorous sometimes. At times when it shouldn't be. Those have been the 22 books that I've read in January. I have been consuming literature like I am a rabid hungry dog, and I'm very happy with that because it is a huge distraction. Please let me know what have you been reading, what has been your favorite or your least favorite, or a book that disappointed you this month. Or you know what, no, not disappointed. Let's go with something positive that made you really happy this month. Just tell me everything. I always am up for talking about books. Other than that though, I love you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next video.